Hey everybody, welcome to week number 9. This week I want to talk a little bit about making our habits last because as we've discussed in the past and as we've talked one on one, the whole goal of this program isn't just to help you reach a health goal, whether that's losing a certain amount of weight or putting on some muscle, whatever your goal is. We don't want to just help you reach it. We want to make sure that you know how to maintain it and keep it forever. Because the last thing we want is for this to be another yo-yo diet where you lose a bunch of weight, hit a goal that you're super happy and excited about, and then a year later you're right back where you started. We do not want that. And so the key is that as we've been going through this program, we've been slowly adding habits, slow little tiny habits to kind of build up into a routine. But as we move forward, we do have quite a bit of habits that we've built. And even though all of these are important, we do need to take a deeper look at yourself, your lifestyle, how you live, and make sure that we keep in the most important ones. Because there is going to be a level of priority, right? It's more important that you're counting your macros, weighing out food, than it is that you do 5 minutes of daily stretching. Stretching is still important. There's benefits, and I wanted to talk about that because it is important, but we need to prioritize which of these habits we need to keep forever if you want to maintain these kind of weight loss goals or whatever the goal is that we've been reaching. One, I want to read a quote for you real quick. This is one of my favorites. It's from James Clear, who wrote Atomic Habits. The quote goes, "In theory, consistency is about being disciplined, determined, and unwavering. In practice, consistency is about being adaptable. Don't have much time? Scale it down. Don't have much energy? Do the easy version. Find different ways to show up depending on the circumstances. Let your habits change shape to meet the demands of the day. Adaptability is the way of consistency." And so as we move forward, especially after the end of the 16 weeks, the key isn't going to just be about being perfect and super consistent because things come up, right? Whether it's a holiday, a birthday party, something happens, or even it just life gets more busy. We need to find a way for you to adapt the habits that you have that are important to be able to maintain them moving forward. Now, in some cases, it might be cutting out some of the habits. Not everyone's going to have time for all of these different things, or maybe you just know that in your lifestyle, you're not going to stick with some of them. And we need to determine which of those are important, which of those are not. So, real quick, first thing we're going to do is I want to kind of just go through the list of the habits we have currently. And this week, we're not going to add any new ones. But the next few weeks, there still will be a few more habits we kind of add on. But just for now, I want to just take some time and kind of look through the ones we currently have. So right now we have daily journaling. We have a 10-minute walk or some form of daily activity. We're, eating the 3 meals and a snack that are all either from the meal list, or if you're comfortable, we may have already moved you over to counting macros. We're inputting all of the things that we eat in a calorie counting app. We are doing, one hard thing every day, something to just build up that willpower. A lot of us are doing a nightly ritual, depending on how your sleep is. Maybe we've added 2 or 3 just to kind of help increase the sleep we're getting. For those who this is applicable, we're doing weight training sessions, 5 minutes of daily stretching, 5 minutes of daily or one 5 minute session of meditation a week. And we're also calculating how much water we're intaking. So these are quite a bit of habits, and each one of them is important and has merit and is important for your long-term health. But like I said, we need to kind of prioritize these and determine which of these are going to be maintainable moving forward. Now, for me personally, my non-negotiables by the end of this program are using a calorie counting app and counting your macros. Just because if you want to be able to maintain a weight, it is super important that we are counting those calories and keeping on top of it. Things like meal prep are really important tools to do that, but it's all just going to come down to you and what you feel is important. So for this week, what I want you to do is I want you to do a journaling kind of prompt. So this will be our weekly journaling prompt. I want you to write up all of the habits that we have so far. And if you want, you can even add in new habits if there's other things that you're thinking you want to start doing or improve on or work on, be better at. And I want you to prioritize them. Go from most to least important, and then kind of write down on each one why it's important and if it's something that you want to maintain for the long term. And then we can do a weekly call. We're going to jump into these, talk about them, because we need to determine which of these you are going to be determined to stick with, or I guess I shouldn't say determined, you're going to be committed to sticking with long term. Because if you want to maintain these goals, there are certain things that we're just going to have to continue to do to be able to stay where you're happy and where you're content. And so for this week, the only thing we're going to do is just that journaling prompt, all of the habits, write them down, and we're going to go, most to least important. And then we're going to kind of come up with a plan on how we can schedule this into our daily lives to make sure that at least the most important ones we never let slip. Because long term, if you're not meditating every single week, that's not going to be the end of the world, right? If you're not doing daily stretching, maybe you're going to have some tightness, some issues here and there. You're not drinking enough water. You might have some dehydration. Your body's not going to be quite optimal. But there's other ones, like I mentioned, the nutrition. If we can't get the nutrition under control, doesn't matter how good or how much weight you lose here, if you just go right back to the old habits, stuff's not going to stick. And so we need to make sure that we prioritize these in something that's going to fit your lifestyle. Other than that, just keep going, and we'll touch base soon.